Okay, so we're back. Day 28. You've been on this personal branding deep dive for almost a month now.
28 days.
28 days, and we've been talking about all this personal branding stuff, and you're probably like,
Yeah.
okay, what have I learned? What's going on here? Well, today we're going to kind of help you with that.
Yeah, unpack it.
Unpack it. We've got your notes. We've got this checklist. We're going to try to figure out what's been going on.
And help you get ready for that Brave framework course.
Brave framework course. Exactly. It's coming up. So I've got our expert here to help us decode all of this. You ready to dive in?
Absolutely. I'm excited to hear how things have gone. 28 days, it's enough time to start seeing some real shifts.
Yeah, and those shifts, those are what we're looking for. So first off, let's take a look at your goals. Back on day one, you set some goals for this personal branding journey.
Right.
How's that all looking now? Did you hit the mark, or were there some surprises along the way?
Think about it. Any unexpected roadblocks, those can be super insightful.
Or maybe even some unexpected wins. Sometimes those happen too.
Oh, absolutely. Those are the best. When something just clicks and you're like, wow, I didn't even see that coming.
Exactly. And sometimes those unexpected things are the ones that teach us the most. So let's talk about those strategies. The checklist here asks about strategies that really worked for you, during this whole process.
Yeah, what were those shining moments in your branding journey? What really moved the needle for you?
And just as importantly, why do you think those strategies work so well?
Were they things you enjoyed doing? Did they feel natural to you? Did they play to your strengths? Maybe you even uncovered some hidden talents you didn't know you had.
It's amazing what we can discover about ourselves when we really dive in, right?
Totally.
So now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about feedback.
Yeah.
During these 28 days, you've been putting yourself out there, sharing your brand with the world.
Right.
So what have you been hearing from others?
Feedback is so valuable, even when it's tough to hear sometimes.
Oh yeah, it can be a little scary to put yourself out there like that, but that feedback, that's how we grow.
Exactly. It's all part of the process. So think about the feedback you've received. Was it consistent? Did any of it challenge your initial assumptions?
Those are the moments that can really make us rethink things, right? And sometimes those challenging bits of feedback are the most valuable because they force us to grow.
100%. They push us out of our comfort zones and help us become even better.
Okay, so we've talked about goals, strategies, and feedback. Now the checklist reminds us to do something really important, which is to acknowledge both our achievements and the areas where we still have room for improvement.
This isn't about judgment, it's about growth.
Exactly. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and that's okay. So take some time to reflect on what this process has revealed about yours.
What are you really good at? Where do you shine? And what are some areas where you might need a little more support or development?
And remember, even those so-called weaknesses, those can actually become opportunities.
Right.
It's all about how we approach them.
A growth mindset, that's what we're talking about.
Exactly. Okay, so next up on the checklist. This one might sound a little bit like a homework assignment, but trust me, it's important.
Yeah.
We're talking about documenting your key takeaways.
Now you might be thinking, writing things down, really? But hear me out. Think of it as creating your personal branding playbook, a guide for your future self.
Like a cheat sheet.
Exactly. It's a way to solidify what you've learned, create a roadmap for the future.
So you don't forget all these brilliant insights.
Right. And it doesn't have to be a formal essay or anything. Just jot down your thoughts, sketch out some ideas, make a mind map, or even record a voice note.
Just get it out of your head and onto something.
Exactly. Whatever works for you.
It's okay. So now for the exciting part. Updating your personal brand vision statement. Sounds fancy, right?
Yeah, but it's really not as complicated as it sounds. It's about taking everything you've learned about yourself, your goals during this challenge, and crafting a concise statement.
Short and sweet, right?
Right. And this statement, it should encapsulate who you are and where you want to go. It's like your mission statement, but for your professional life.
Like a guiding star.
Precisely.
So think big, but stay true to your authentic self. Don't try to be someone you're not.
Absolutely. Authenticity is key. So how has this 28-day challenge shifted your perspective? What do you want to achieve with your personal brand now?
Yeah, what's the dream? And remember, that reflective branding session mentioned in the materials, that's a great way to get extra support as you refine your vision.
But it's totally optional.
You can do it on your own too. You've come this far, you've got this.
You're almost there.
So we've talked about a lot today. We talked about goals, those winning strategies, the power of feedback. We've even started thinking about that unique selling proposition.
You're well on your way.
But here's a final thought for you to chew on as you move forward. Imagine you could go back in time to day one of this journey
Back to the beginning.
and whisper a piece of advice to yourself. Just one little nugget of wisdom based on everything you know now. What would it be? That's something to think about, right?
Definitely.
All right, that's our deep dive for today. Keep exploring, keep evolving, and keep branding like a boss. We'll see you next time.
See you then.